What's going on, guys? Heads here from Infinity Loops, and since I sound awful, let's do a little less talk and more fly today. We're going to be taking a look at the Chris Rosser frame. I've built this out with some of the components I had laying around here, one of which I don't think I've ever shown off on this channel, so let's take a look at it real quick on the bench before we go out and fly it. So like I mentioned, this is the Chris Rosser AOS T3 frame. I'll leave a link where you can get all of the parts I use, including that frame, down below in the description. The flight controller is the TUNERC EZ flight controller, which if you haven't seen those before, I've done a video on this one already. I used it in a different toothpick build. And then the VTX and the ELRS combo that's in there, really hard to see. I don't have one out of the box to show you, but it is the Fyujon by HappyModel. I got one a few months ago when they came out in China, and I tried it and it just was not working with my Sky Zone goggles at all. So I couldn't figure out what the issue was, and I finally came back and tried it after doing the 60 FPS upgrade on my goggles, and for some reason now it works. So maybe the goggles just needed an update, but anyhow, the Fyujon by HappyModel is in there as well, and that's acting as the VTX as well as the ELRS. You can see that little ceramic antenna there. The camera is the Cadex Ant, and the only reason I'm really using that is because it was already in this canopy off of an older build. This stack was somewhat built already in another build, and it just needed to be fine-tuned, so I threw it in this Rosser frame to go take it out and give it a rip and just see, I don't know how it does without any tune on it. So we're gonna go see how that does. I will be flying it today on these 2S 450 milliamp Tattoo batteries. These are pretty old cells. They've been kicking around since I got my first toothpick like 2 years ago, but I don't use them very often, and I always keep them at storage. So the wrappers are a little beat up, but I still get some pretty decent flight times on them. So we'll go see what we can do with these. And once we get some flights in, we'll come back in and talk about it a little bit more.
Up all night by myself, trying to think of ways to use your voice stuck in my brain. We never got to see it through, and I know I feel more pain if we're speaking truth. Cause when the daylight comes, I still lose. So will I feel it again? I just don't know, and I'm hoping I'll find a way to let go. So if you love me, how could you leave me so low? So will I feel it again? I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. Cause when the daylight comes, I still lose. So will I feel it again? I just don't know, and I'm hoping I'll find a way to let go. So if you love me, how could you leave me so low? So will I feel it again? I just don't know. I just don't know. Looking back at our time, hoping that we did it right, and give me any reason to call you up late at night. And we know it's for the best, I won't put up a fight. Cause when the daylight comes, I still lose. So will I feel it again? I just don't know, and I'm hoping.
I do like this frame. I do like interesting frames. I've always kind of been drawn towards the frames that just don't look like the other frames out there. This one kind of looking like a ninja throwing star almost. So some of that footage you may have noticed a little bobble here and there. The canopy actually is broken in two spots that I didn't notice before, and it was only really being held on by one screw and one piece of my rubber band here that I use to hold the battery on. So some of that footage might be a little shaky. We'll see in editing. But if you do notice some vibrations or shakes in some of the maneuvers, it was probably not the tune. This actually is feeling pretty sharp. The canopy, however, this is pretty loose. So, whoops. This frame can take a hit. The carbon is... Where's Nick Burns when you need him? The arms are 2.5 millimeters thick. So that's pretty good, and the bottom plates are 1.5 millimeters thick, and there's 2 of them sandwiched with all the arms in between them. But the frame is durable. It has taken a few crashes. So I think for the springtime, I'm probably just going to leave this assembled the way that it is and use this just as my outdoor little park ripper. As for the VTX ELRS combo, the ELRS has been perfectly fine. The link quality's been great. However, the VTX has still been a little iffy with my goggles. I don't fault the VTX for that, though, however, or HappyModel's Fyujon. I did have OG come over with his Fat Sharks, and he was not getting nearly as bad a signal on his goggles as I was mine, and he uses rapid fire. So I think it's probably the Sky Zone module that I'm using. So I may just switch back to something like the Reaper or something like that, a smaller VTX with really good range on it. We will leave this one for now and possibly revisit it soon in the future. But I will leave links for everything down below if you are interested in picking any of those things up. Some links may be affiliate links. Just forewarning, I'll separate them just so you know which ones are affiliate and which ones are not. Leave any questions or comments you may have for us down below. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Take care of yourselves, guys, and we will see you in the next one.